This is what your business is supposed to feel like. Open, clear, spacious, profitable, peaceful. And I'm not saying you won't work. I'm saying you won't feel like chaos. Let me tell you something that sounds backwards, but is true. Premium clients don't make your business harder. They make it easier. And if your business feels tight right now, if you feel like you're always behind, always responding, always putting out fires, it's not because you need more hustle. It's because you're serving too many of the wrong people. Some of y'all are not running a business. You're running a customer service hotline with a logo. This right here is what your business feels like. Tight, crowded, no air, no space, no margin. And I want you to notice something about this ball. It's not bad. It's the same ball either way. But watch this. Same ball, same material, same structure. It didn't get bigger because I crammed more into it. It got bigger because it got less crowded. That's the premium client lesson. Premium positioning doesn't expand your business by adding more stress. It expands your business by removing what's suffocating you. Now, before you tune out, let me clarify something. A lot of people hear premium clients and immediately they think, oh, he means expensive. So when I say premium, what you probably hear is a high price. That is not necessarily what I mean. Premium is not a price tag. Premium is behavior plus boundaries plus certainty. That's what premium is. Premium clients exist in every industry at every price point. A premium client is someone who respects expertise. They communicate reasonably. They make decisions. Premium clients value outcomes. They follow a process. And the biggest reason premium clients feel easier is simple. Because they pay for certainty. They're not paying you to be stressed. They're paying you to be clear, to create certainty. And when you're clear, everything gets lighter. If your business feels crowded, it's usually not because you lack knowledge. It's because your positioning is too broad and your boundaries are too loose. So today, I'm going to show you how premium clients create more breathing room and how you can start attracting them without working harder than you are right now. And we're going to make it simple because the goal is not to build a bigger business that crushes you. The goal is to build a business that lets you breathe. This is the goal. We might be here, but this is our goal at the end of this video. So here's the real issue. Most people think premium means more. More effort, more perfection, more complexity, more time, more work. But premium is often the opposite. Premium usually means fewer clients, clearer standards, better communication, less friction, more profit, more peace. Right? So I'm going to repeat this one more time. Oftentimes they think premium means more. They think this: more effort, perfection, complexity, time, work. But the opposite is often true. Fewer clients, clearer standards, better communication, less friction, more profit, more peace. So let me put a word on the board that you need to remember. That word is friction. This word right here, friction, is your enemy. Friction is our enemy. If you want to know why your business feels tight, it's usually because you have too much friction. And friction shows up in 3 places. Let's look at these. First are going to be exceptions. The second place friction shows up are going to be objections. And then thirdly, friction shows up in extra communication. So let's walk through these 3 like the grown folks that we are. Because if you can see your friction, you can eliminate it. So number 1, exceptions. Exceptions are when everything has to be customized. We're talking about a special price, special terms, special timeline, special handling, special emotional support. And listen, sometimes customizing is necessary. But if your entire business is built on exceptions, you don't have a business. You have chaos with an invoice. And that's not what I want for you. So the second area where friction shows up are going to be right here in these objections. And objections are when people don't trust your value. They want to debate your fee. They want to think about it. They want you to prove yourself over and over and over again, every single conversation. That's friction that you don't need. And then the third place that friction shows up is in extra communication. Extra communication is that constant back and forth, constant updates, constant reassurance, constant checking in or just following up. You know what I call that? A full-time job inside of your full-time job. Now, here's the truth. Premium clients don't remove friction because they're nicer. That's not what the reality is. Premium clients remove friction because your positioning is clear and your process is strong. And that brings me to the Jenga lesson. So we're going to look at what I call the Jenga lesson right now. And this is going to probably change the way you look at a big part of your business. And this is going to be key for all of us here, especially for those of us who are at the points in our businesses where we can't do anymore, where we want to grow, we want to scale, but we don't know how. So I'm going to share with you just a simple Jenga tower. And so when we look at the Jenga tower, and yes, I know there are supposed to be 3 parts of the tower. We're going to just make it kind of our own idea of the Jenga tower. I want you to look at this. You've built this tower over time, and each block represents something important to you. So we have our client type. We're going to use a T twice. We have your offer. We're going to add boundaries. We're going to have our pricing. We're going to also have in our tower our process. We will probably have our lead sources. We're going to say LS. We're going to say our follow-up, and then maybe also your confidence, and then the market. So we have our Jenga tower now, and what happens for most people is the tower starts wobbling. So what do they do? Well, what any smart person would do, we're going to add blocks so that we can maybe sturdy up our Jenga tower. So we're going to add more marketing. We're going to, let's say, strengthen us. Maybe we start right here and we add more grind, or what you might call hustle, because we've got to get our foundation. So if you are working like I am today, of course, we have to add more content, because that's the way I can shore this up. Oh no, they're asking questions about my value. So what if I come in and start giving discounts? Okay, so does this start to look familiar? Oh, let me try something else. Maybe we're just gonna try something new. Maybe we're going to add another service that we have no business adding at all. That's not strategy, ladies and gentlemen. And I can say this to you because I've felt like this in my life, in my businesses many, many times. But this is not strategy. This is panic with a calendar. In Jenga, the goal isn't to add blocks until it looks stable. The goal is to pull the right block. The right block reduces the wobble. The right block creates stability. The right block gives you oxygen. The right block is going to increase your confidence. So let me show you the 3 blocks that are suffocating most business owners right now. And as I name them, I want you to check yourself to see where you are with these 3 blocks. So before we go there, we've got to get rid of, we have to erase our old way of thinking, our old model for doing business. We've got to get that old Jenga tower out of our head so that we can move forward with creating this new tower. So because if you're honest, you know exactly which blocks you keep tolerating, the ones that might keep suffocating you. So block number 1 is going to be the prove it block. This is the client who makes you audition over and over again. They compare you to other people. They ask questions that aren't curiosity, they're cross-examination. They don't want clarity. These potential clients, customers, or prospects, they want control. And you find yourself explaining and explaining and explaining. That's not a sales conversation. That's not a consultation. That's a trial. And you're the one that's on the stand. Some of y'all have become professional defenders of your own worth and value, but that stops today, I hope. Now, here's the problem. The prove it client doesn't just take your time. They take your confidence. They erode your self-esteem. They make you second guess your pricing. They make you rewrite your offer. They make you over-deliver just to feel safe. They shrink your business. That is what they do. That's what the prove it client does. Premium clients, they don't do that. Because premium clients pay for certainty, and certainty shows up in your process. So number 2, or the second block that suffocates many business owners, are going to be the exception client. The exception client always needs special handling. They want a different deliverable, a different timeline, a different process, different communication style. And if you're honest, you've told yourself this lie like I have in the past. Well, if I just do it this once, and then you do it again and again and again, and then you're like Neil. You wake up one day and your business is a pile of one-offs, just special projects and special clientele types. And one-offs create fatigue. One-offs destroy margin. One-offs force you to think too much and too often. But here's why we love premium clients. It's because premium clients love standards. They love structure. They love being led, not controlled. They love being led and guided. And then let's look at the block number 3 that often suffocates us as business owners. It's going to be the one that is the ghost, then urgent. And here's the ghost, then urgent. You know this person, you know this client. They disappear for weeks. They don't respond. They don't move forward. And then suddenly they need everything right now. And you get dragged into their lack of planning. And now you're sprinting because they were just taking a leisurely stroll. That's friction. Premium clients don't usually do that because premium clients respect timelines and decision windows. So here's the question. Which block is stealing your oxygen? Is it the prove it client, the exception client, or the ghost and then urgent client? So we want to answer that question, because if we can identify our friction, we can stop it. Because you can't build a premium business while tolerating non-premium behavior. This is what your business is supposed to feel like: open, clear, spacious, profitable, peaceful. And I'm not saying you won't work. I'm saying you won't feel like chaos. So how do you get here? How does your business feel like this? I'm going to give you a simple framework because we're making this easy. I call this my oxygen method, because the entire goal is to give your business room to breathe. So this is our oxygen framework. So let's walk this out. Outcomes. Premium clients buy outcomes, not features, not fluff, outcomes. So stop describing what you do and start describing what they get. Here's the result I create. Here's the outcome I deliver. Here's what changes when we work together. That's premium language. Now, let's move to the X, exclusions. Premium positioning requires saying no. Let's practice right now. No. One more time for those way in the back. No. And yes, no is a complete sentence. Not because you're arrogant, but because you're clear. So you need to decide who you don't serve. You don't serve indecision. You don't serve disrespect at any time by anyone. You don't serve chaos. You don't serve constant negotiation. And so this is where people get scared. Hear me clearly. And I know, because I felt this way, not only when I started in the industry almost 2 decades ago, but often I still feel this way today. But here's why we get scared. Because we think saying no will shrink our businesses. But you're not saying no to money. You're saying no to suffocation. And when you say no to suffocation, your business expands. And this is what we're looking for: an expanded, open business. Why in oxygen? Your process. Premium clients love process. They don't want to guess. They want a path. So you need a simple, clear set of steps. And so here's what we think about when we have a process. We want to go, let's start here. We're going to have a system that is simple, And then we're going to go back. So we're going to qualify, set the expectations, deliver on what we promise, and then review, retain, and receive referrals. And so when the process is clear, the client feels safe. And that's why they hire us. And when the client feels safe, the client decides faster. So we're going to be able to expand our business by doing less, but then move through the process faster with some clear decision making from our clientele. Guardrails are boundaries, your response times, your communication channels, your timelines, your availability, your decision windows, because boundaries are not rude, they're leadership. Premium clients don't get offended by boundaries. They respect them. Why? Because they have them in their lives and in their businesses. Now, the wrong clients get offended because they wanted access, not outcomes. They wanted your time, not the results. So we're almost done with this oxygen method, but we must go to evidence. And evidence is your proof. Testimonials, results, case studies, credentials, accolades. When your evidence is clear, you don't have to argue. You don't have to defend your position. You just simply show. You show up and prove. And then N is next step. One next step. Not 5, not book a call, download this, join this, follow me, DM me, comment yes. Whew. One next step. Premium is clean. Premium is focused. Premium is decisive. So you want your call to action or your CTA to match that action. I'm going to give you the one Jenga pull, the one block you pull this week that changes everything. Stop taking clients who require you to prove your value every conversation. That one decision does more for your business than another marketing hack, because you stop tolerating that behavior. Your objections drop, your follow-ups drop, your stress drops, your margin increases, your confidence rises, and your results rise. And suddenly your business can breathe again. And that's what we're after today. So that's premium. Not more crowded, more open. Not more chaos, more clarity. Not more hustle, more oxygen. If this hits you, here's what I want you to do next. Take the Elite Client Readiness Assessment so you can see exactly what you need to tighten up. And if you want more of these Make It Easy frameworks, subscribe, because this is exactly what we're doing here on this channel. Because you don't need to work harder. You need more oxygen. And you can't get oxygen in a crowded business. Let's expand the ball. I love you. God loves you. And there's nothing you can do about it. And until the next time I see you or you see me, don't be average, be world renowned. Peace.